Alright, so my goal was really simple this round. I wanted to get the Raiders up there and blocking, but I wanted to keep them separated over here because I knew we had a big reach and I want you to be able to charge up and knock out 3 guys with all your attacks and just, you know, cause a lot of death. I obviously early on wanted to make sure that you didn't get that crazy first turn pull back on eSkarre, because if you pull her out of the command range, you can knock her down and the Phoenix is just going to drop her on the counter charge. I also wanted to set up for my feat this turn, which is going to hopefully affect all the key models and stop a lot of extra death this time. So it's just basically a big setup too.
Okay, for my turn, I really wanted to try to remove these guys as much as possible. I don't want backlash going on one of these jacks and then possibly killing Rahn. So my first intention was to have the Phoenix come up here and then kill her. I didn't boost the damage because I also wanted to keep magic, or keep enough focus on myself so that I could then possibly toss out another spell. I can't remember what it's called, but the chain blast that can hopefully kill, you know, 1 if not 2 more models. But I rolled Snake Eyes on the damage and left her with 3 hitboxes. After that, it was kind of just pick off what I could. I was hoping that I could get kind of lucky rolls with one of these, or at least get an 8. Didn't get any 8s. I did block myself in over here. I was intending to have him charge up over here and get both of these, but I played it extremely poorly and blocked myself in. And it's kind of just put what I can in front of here, and keep Iris back to try to knock off any upkeeps he puts up on my guys.
Alright, so my goal this turn, I had a few. One, I wanted to get good flanking with my pistol ray since he doesn't have a whole lot of magic attacks dedicated to this side. My arc node wasn't needed this turn since I was already going to put Scar way up into the fray and I knew it. I wanted puppet strings on her just in case I had to do a reroll on a missed attack. I wasn't too worried about spending an extra focus on damage though. Because I wasn't advancing him and I wanted her to have all her focus to blow, my Siren redirected to dedicating to the Nightmare this turn, who was all about getting into his face. Since he is my prey, if Rahn wants to move away, he is going to take a Mat 10 P+S 18 attack, and nobody likes that. Much like Jeremy was afraid of, my main goal with Scar, aside from locking down what I knew would be his least damage jack, his caster, was to protect my 3 heavy hitters, which this game of course was going to be the Death Jack, who can now not have to worry about the Vengeance, the Nightmare, who is going to be one of my big caster kill guys, and Epic Scar herself, so she can play a little dangerous. You might wonder why she took the point of damage instead of the Scarlock casting Admonition again. The reason for that was simply because I wanted to drop Corrosion in order to try to get the extra point every round that I upkept that spell. The witches here were able to do pretty much what I wanted, which is gunk up the area, drop a little bit of damage. I was lucky on the knockdown over here, but also do some extra points to his caster, because that's one of my caster kill conditions, is doing that feedback backlash, which is working pretty well. Because he was knocked down, I was more than willing to dedicate losing my pistol rate this turn to make sure he couldn't stand up and kill multiple guys, which makes them more survivable. Gorman de Wolf threw a little cover to make my guys a little more protected, especially himself. I don't really need him this turn, so I want to kind of protect him for later turns. And then my captain back here, I care about Scar. I don't want some random goofball hit going off, so I'm going to keep her ready and safe for later, because she's also a great solo or unit hunter. And she copies or combos well with a few of my spells that debuff his crew. And that's pretty much what my goal is.
spot with how far up he was. I figured that I could at least get my Phoenix up to here. I could give him a focus to boost, because he still had his Arc Node and his Core. Well, the Arc Node doesn't matter, but he still had his Cortex. So I figured if I could get him up to here and then walk up to here, he could combust, which doesn't target any of his models. So the combust would allow me to do a POW 12 against Scyrah, which I then would be able to boost. And then armor 14, I think is what she's at. She could be 17. 15. I'd be dice -3. She's got 9 hitboxes left. 9 or 10. It's relatively possible that I just kill her with the first, and then if she doesn't pass the fire check, she just dies to fire. And then aside bonuses, I would kill Gorman and probably the Scarlock or Scarlock. I wasn't able to get this. I had 2 models here that I had to get rid of. I was only able to get rid of 1. When I wasn't able to get rid of this one, I figured the free strike was going to be fine because he's so low on damage, or he doesn't hit hard enough that he's going to be really able to do any damage. But he was able to roll the crit, which knocked me down as soon as I left the melee range, which kind of just screwed over my entire plan. At that point, I kind of just had to throw everything here in front of Rahn to try to prevent him from being able to trample over or to charge on either or. And that's about it. I really wasn't able to do anything after that. My initial plan is, if this had worked out, have these guys walk over, have the mages walk over. The one would have been able to walk over here and shoot him with my feet, which is, if you saw, why I initially feated with him, because they probably could have cleared out a lot of these guys afterwards. So even though I would have been in a rough position with how close these guys were, the fact that it's a kill box and I had to telekinesis myself to get out of melee kind of put me in a hard spot where I couldn't run over here, and I didn't have any models over here that I could charge because I didn't have A, the facing of it. I didn't put my facing correctly when I telekinesis myself out, and B, I just didn't have anything to put there. So.
Now that I am feeling more secure, I am going to go ahead and attempt to trample. Deathjack is speed 6. We'll spend the 1, so he's going to be able to go 9.
Hey, I've been helping.
I'm going to grab that large base from you, so we can identify where he can land.
I have dual allegiance. He needs us to win.
So 9. Goes out really far. I'm going to let him go here. And he will be crossing over everybody except for your archer's base.
I'm not getting the I can't damage.
Alright, so I'm going to place him here. Deathjack is going to start by attacking that guy. The beautiful character Jack he is puts him at mat 8.
You beat Starbucks, you get 2 actions.
We'll hit, strength kills. Hit, strength kills.
Are you like? No!
Hits and kills. And then Rahn, mat 8. 13 misses. But that is not my goal right there. Deathjack is sitting on focus, so I'm going to spend 1. I'm going to make my mat 8 attack against you. That will hit. Your armor what?
20.
20, so it's dice minus 2. I'm going to go for quantity of attacks at minus 2 over you. Big one. I spent the 1. So this is minus 2.
I thought Spider was good.
Which will be 4.
Okay, he's got 1 hitbox.
And I will buy an attack. Actually, with 1 hitbox, I'm simply going to spend this thanks to Seize of Fate, and I'm going to boost afterwards. Good game.
Landing 6, purple, red. Pass no effect. Failed.
Alright, so my plan for this turn, which ultimately worked out, but may have seemed a little long-winded in its endeavor, was I didn't really care about these guys, they just seemed to exist here. What I really wanted to do was eliminate as much competition and enough areas for failure as possible. That's why I dedicated the range attack, which Scar is not as good at. I went with the range attack here, I went with the magic attacks. Even here, I wanted the chance, if later necessary, to move up and attack this guy to prevent attacks against Scar. Everything was dedicated to clearing 2 lanes. One was lane for the Deathjack to go up, and assuming the Deathjack failed, because we did watch him rock a whole lot of suck earlier, I wanted to have the Nightmare, which assuming is, if he is within 10 of Rahn, which I'm almost certain he is, he gets plus to his speed. And at 10, Rahn's back arc, thanks to Rahn charging, is going to put me at a really high chance to hit POW 18s. Just too much damage for the camp focus to overboost and protect. And so that's why everything was so dedicated to making sure there was the area rather than me just trampling and going for it and possibly whiffing and costing myself the game.